Well, howdy gang, Jeff from G's Gear putting together another video this evening of a guitar that we're about to add to the pile of stuff at gsgear@reverb.com. And we've got a really cool, funky little parlor guitar for you. We don't know exactly what this is. We're calling it a Lyon Healy. Lyon Healy was the largest manufacturer of guitars in America from about the end of the Civil War up through the 1920s or so. Eventually, they faded out and they were supplanted by Harmony, who became the biggest. But Lyon Healy made a ton of guitars. They advertised that they made 100,000 a year, which is kind of a staggering number back in the late 1800s. And like Harmony, Lyon Healy made guitars under their own name, but they also made them as what we would call a jobber, making guitars that were to be sold under a different name through a department store or a mom and pop shop, through a catalog retailer. So this one has no branding on it whatsoever. It's possible that it had some stuff that was removed, and we'll get into that in a minute with some of the repair work we did. But we've tried to identify it, and we have hit kind of a brick wall. We can't find an exact match for this guitar. But we have found a couple things that are of interest. When you look on the website and you can zoom in and look at things in great detail, you'll see this beautiful binding that goes around the guitar or at the sound hole. It's on the back of the guitar as well, and down the center stripe here. It's really distinctive. And we found that same binding only two other places. One was on a Washburn style 217 guitar, which was also made by Lyon Healy, and another was on a Lyon Healy Lakeside guitar. And on that Lakeside guitar, we also saw the rather unique inlays on the fretboard. And it's the only place that we've seen them that are exactly like this. So that leads us to believe that this was a Lyon Healy made guitar, possibly sold as a Washburn, possibly sold as something else. The date on it, given the dates of production on the 217 and on the Lakeside, would put this at about 1905. So it's close to 125 years old. It's really in remarkable shape. It's in great playing shape. It's had a lot of work done to it before we got to it and now afterwards. You'll see here the outline of an old trapeze style tailpiece, which is what this guitar probably had originally. I say probably because it's possible that it was switched to that and switched back. It's been around a long time. But it looks to us like it had a trapeze style piece that would have gone to a floating bridge and then on up to the tuners and up the fretboard. But at some point in time, a replacement bridge was added to the guitar. This is not original. The tuners are not original. We've had them off, and they are much more modern tuners. Everything else about the guitar is inherently original. However, it looks as though at some point in time, some of the cleating on the inside of the guitar that holds the two sections of the back together at the center seam, it looks like some of that cleating has been replaced. And it's on that cleating that you would have found the original emblem for Lyon Healy. So if it was a Lyon Healy guitar, that may be why we can't find that marking. It has had some cracks repaired to it before we got it, and it's had some work done since we got it. Everything that was a crack has been dealt with. We've cleated and glued a couple cracks in the top and in the back. Here, we re-glued the entirety of the seam here between the two pieces of the back. We re-glued some loose binding. We on the body as well as up on the neck. We re-glued the bridge. That was coming loose. Two of the bridges had popped loose, and we had glued them back down. What else? Let's see. We did a lot of gluing here. So we glued braces. On the interior. We glued the braces back down, two of them, re-glued the bridge, sealed some cracks with cleats and glue, re-glued the center seam in the back, glued some binding on the body and on the neck, and then we removed the neck and did a full neck reset. Made a new bone saddle, and now it plays at a 5/64 of an inch and a 1/16 of an inch at the 12th fret. It's 12 frets to the body. So a little more then about the guitar itself. It's a spruce top, 13-inch lower bout. So this is an O size guitar. The entire guitar is only 38 inches long, but it has a 24¼ inch scale. It is mahogany back and sides with a cedar neck with a very deep V cedar neck, and the neck is nice and straight. The open headstock here, and a Brazilian rosewood fretboard, a rosewood bridge. I would not say Brazilian rosewood because I think it's a little too new for that. And of course the decorative inlays on the fretboard and the purfling around here, the marquetry on the guitar, is really nice. We filled in a couple holes in the back where the tailpiece had been. A lot of minor stuff. The big thing was doing the neck reset, making the new saddle, and gluing the braces back down. That was probably the single biggest things that we did. But she plays like a champ. These would have originally been strung with gut, so we wanted to go with something that was reasonably low tension, and we have it strung with Diodario silk and steel strings. We'd recommend that you not go with anything more tension than that. If you want to go to a nylon string, you'd be great too. But with the silken steels, it plays beautifully. And what else is there to say? Classic parlor guitar from the early 1900s, most likely a Lyon Healy. If we could tell you definitively that it was a Lyon Healy, this would be a $3,000 plus guitar. We can't tell you that, and so that's reflected in the price. But it's most likely a Lyon Healy made guitar. American made. This is sort of the end of the first wave of American guitar building. The real first wave starts at the end of the Civil War and moves up into the new century. And then after World War I, you kind of get into the second wave, and then a third wave after probably after the 1960s, when we begin to get into much higher production and ultimately guitars getting outsourced to other countries. But this is a really quality made instrument. It's got a great sound. It's going to be great finger style. This is really how you want to play it. And for playing old-timey music, you need an old-timey guitar. It's surprising to me how much volume these things have. It's really pretty punchy. So check it out. It's at reverb.com, at gsgear@reverb.com. It's there today. I don't think, as unusual a piece as this is, that it's going to last for very long. We also have it at our shop, www.gsgear.com. And there you'll see that what we do is we buy, restore, and sell vintage musical instruments. We also do repair work for our client base, and you'll see a listing of services we offer. So if you have a guitar in need of work, if you're in the Philadelphia area, we're in suburban Philadelphia, give us a holler. We're always happy to talk shop, have a look at what you've got, see what we can do to make it play optimally for you. All right, we'll figure out what to play here to take us out. We'll get on to some more guitars. I got 5 to do tonight. And we'll see you on the flip side. Thanks, gang.